Good evening, football fans. Week 2 of the high school football season brings us to Diman Regional for this non-league matchup between the Case Cardinals and the hometown Diman Bengals. Evan Massoud with you here on Fred TV in Week 2, as I said. Week 1 took us over to Somerset, where Durfee opened its season against the Blue Raiders in what was really a tremendous ball game, a defensive shootout, really. Very little offense. And just a really competitive game. Durfee came out on the short end of the stick on that one, a 6-0 loss. Diman was here at home against West Bridgewater, and the Bengals lost to the Wildcats in their opening night game as well. This is their first game last week. It was on their home turf in over a year because last summer, 2017, they redid this field. The grass, this is real grass. This is not the fake stuff. This is the real deal. And I can tell you, I stepped foot on this field before week 1 week ago, and it was like walking on a carpet. It was just fantastic. They did such a good job, and I guess the patience of not rushing and letting the grass take and root in and whatnot last year definitely paid dividends because the field is beautiful. This is one of the best-looking grass fields that I've seen around here. So kudos to the Diman administration for doing this the right way and getting the grass down. Case has won the toss, and they will kick it off to the Bengals, who are looking for win number 1 of the season. We've seen some crazy games against Case here between these two teams. I can remember a couple years ago, if I recall, it was the year that Diman made it to the playoffs, and they won the Mayflower. It was a tremendous season for them, and they beat Case in their opening night game, their home opener. It was week 2 as well. And they came back in that game, and they stunned the Cardinals. It was one of the best games I've seen Diman play in the last few years. So we'll get to more on that right after the anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Willow Torres.
Real great job on the national anthem by Willow Torres, one of the Diman students here. Really, really well done. One of the better ones that you'll hear in high school sports. But yes, getting back to this matchup here again, Case and Diman tend to square off almost every year. And a couple years ago we were here, and Diman came back in that game. I think they were down, I want to say 12-0. And I think they came, if I recall, they came back. It was like maybe a 28-24 or 28-26. It was some wacky number and very close number. A lot of offense, a lot of back and forth. And Diman came out on top. And it was just really an exciting game. Again, you know, being the home opener, they had an even bigger crowd than normal because everybody shows up for the home opener. And it was so exciting to see Diman come back because we hadn't seen a team with an explosive offense like that in a couple years. So that was a big one. Case comes in 1-0. They put up 40-something points 1 week ago in their opener. So their offense is definitely a strong offense. And I think Diman's going to have their hands full tonight, but we will see what happens. O'Shawn Brooks back at QB here. And, of course, J.C. King for Diman, number 22. You want to keep an eye on him. We saw him have some great games last year in some of our coverage again with the Bengals here. And he will be a big part of this Bengals offense tonight. So look for him, number 22, J.C. King. We play 10-minute quarters here in the Mayflower League as opposed to the 11 minutes that Durfee plays. So here in the lower divisions, we play 10-minute quarters. And the Cardinals will kick off. 69 degrees at game time, partly cloudy, a easterly or westerly breeze. Wind coming from the east in a westerly direction. Just a really nice night for football here in week 2. Zach Poitras with the recovery, and they will start 1st and 10 from the 30. See the cheerleaders are on the track down below. Don't see the Bengals mascot tonight. Maybe the cat will make an appearance later on. All right, Bengals line up here. J.C. King is in the backfield.
At quarterback for the Bengals,
O'Shawn Brooks under center.
Brooks.
And a good handoff on the first snap of the game. That is Nate Lamba. And he gets it across the 40 for a first down on the first play from scrimmage.
Ball carried by
That's a 10-yard run.
Nate Lumba. Result of the play is good for a Bengals first down.
It was a good run. He thought they were going to go to King. They used King as a blocker, and they went to Lumba, who was the second back, and moved it right up the field. Had a good open lane there, right down the pocket before he was tackled. So Bengals moved the chains. And they're going with the same exact formation. We'll see if they change it up, though, in terms of who gets it. Nope, same thing. Same lane, 5-yard carry, halfway to the 50 and halfway to another first down. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Ball carried by number 2, Nate Lumba. And on a stop for the Cardinals, number 5, Ty Kudo.
Of course, the head coach of the Diamond Bengals, Steve Winarski, back at the helm once again. And looks like we got an official's timeout. Head coach for the Case Cardinals here is Anthony Palladino.
Second down and 5 for the Bengals from their own 45-yard line.
And that voice you'll hear chirping behind me throughout the night is PA announcer Lenny Dutra. Lenny, always a lot of fun downstairs. I remember shooting. I was talking to our cameraman Jake Fitzgerald before the game, and when I used to shoot highlights, not just do the play-by-play, as Lumba gets the handoff, has some room, and has a blocker. He's across the 50, a 10-yard run, good for another first down. Yeah, when I used to do highlights and anchor on Comments Red News on FRG TV, our sister station, did that for 3 years. Before starting to do more full games, as we've been doing since 2015 now. Used to be filming highlights behind the camera more during the week. So Friday nights I'd either be here or at Durfee or at Connolly on Saturdays because they had no lights.
First and 10 Bengals.
And we used, when you're shooting highlights, the audio wasn't necessarily as important, so we'd be able to talk about the game and what's going on. Just actually have that's almost an offsides on the Cardinals. Almost jumped that line. A fumble and recovered by Brooks. Bad handoff and a bit of a late hit there. QB was down and a couple Cardinals came swooping in. No pun intended. But yeah, so Lenny, one of Lenny's key phrases on the PA is promoting the Snack Shack and the nacho cheese. So we'll see if he drops that tonight. Diamond's camera guy here as well. Nate Burns, who he and I always would chat up here, like I said, when we were shooting highlights. We had Nate on for a broadcast a couple years ago. Always a lot of fun. So he just gave me a look like, what are you talking about? Oh, what a nice, talk about timing. And did they take that away, or was the runner down? Ty Kudo timed that perfectly. And I think the Cardinals may have the ball. I'm not sure if the runner was down. I think he yanked it right out of his arms. Let's wait and see what happens here. If not, it's going to be a 3rd and long. It is Cardinals ball. Wow, how about that? I didn't see it hit the ground. I'm telling you, the tackle, Kudo, was already charging just before the hard count. He timed it perfectly. He was right at the neutral zone. Took off, grabbed the runner, and in doing so, basically stripped the ball away before he went down to the ground. So that is a huge turn of events because Diamond was moving the ball fairly well on the ground, and now Case gets it right back, and they're going to run it on their first play. A hard hit, still on his feet. That's Kudo again. Tough to take down. This Case Cardinals team is a big team. They're really big up front.
Ball carried,
and that should help them throughout the night in terms of at least, if they're going to run the ball. Being big up front is going to give you time to block and open up a lane. It's also going to give you QB time to throw it.
That'll bring up 2nd down for the Cardinals.
There's an 8-yard carry. It'll be 2nd and 2 inside the 40. It's amazing how things can just completely snowball on you. Diamond was moving the ball. They had the bad handoff, so Brooks had to fall on it back. They lost yardage, and then all of a sudden, another fumble. And a marker down, and Diamond signaling that they have it. That's number 2. Lamba signaling he's right, and we'll go back the other way. What a crazy start to the game.
Number 22, JC.
We get a mascot alert. We have the Diamond Bengal has made his way down to the stands.
From their own 39-yard line.
Cats tend to prey on birds, so he's in the right place. There's a lot of Cardinals out on the field. At least it's not too warm. We've been here when it was pretty warm, and hard to think that person inside the mascot suit would not be in the early stages of heat stroke on some of the 80-degree nights when we've had football here. Different in October. We envy that person in October when it's late October and it's 40 degrees with a breeze. That's probably the warmest place to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, go on to www.diamondstore.org and get your latest Diamond apparel.
Coach Steve Winarski talking with one of our officials.
www.diamondstore.org.
Brooks back out there with the play call. So a crazy first 4 minutes of play here. 6:06 in the first quarter. We've seen 3 fumbles. 2 have been recovered, 1 for either side. And the Bengals start at the 39, 1st and 10, where they recovered the ball back. Lamba with, that was King. And King tackled right at the line. I'll tell you, this Cardinals defense is extremely close to being offside. They're timing it so well that they're moving like almost instantly with the ball. So that's going to be maybe loss of half a yard. Not much of a difference from the original line of scrimmage. So we'll keep it at 10. 2nd and 10 now for the Bengals. Some late arrivers still showing up here. Good crowd tonight at Diamond. Have to say, I enjoy from a production aspect, I enjoy here over Durfee, and I'll tell you why. We're much higher up here, but we're just as close to the field.
Timeout Bengals.
So being higher, we can see the entire field.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It just is a better
Boomer the Bengals
better
in the crowd.
aspect or
Get your
perspective, I
pictures
should
taken
say.
at no cost with Boomer the Bengal.
Now you'll be able to see that even the far sidelines, you can actually see the boundaries. Even you can't see the boundaries at Durfee from where we're at, and so this angle is just really fantastic.
2nd down and 10 for the Bengals from their own 39-yard
And the field is, again, the grass doesn't reflect as much. Brooks throwing on the run, a little bit of a screenplay there, and it is a connection for about 6 yards, maybe 7. They're going to give him 7, so nice chunk of yardage on 2nd and 10. It'll bring up 3rd and short from about midfield.
That's completed by number 1, O'Shawn Brooks. To number 22, J.C. King.
J.C. King again coming down with it.
By number 5, Ty Kudo.
Kudo's been all over the place, playing both sides of the ball for the Cardinals.
3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3 from Diamond's 46. Got to get to the 49. They've already been on Cardinals territory, or in Cardinals territory once tonight. Big 3rd down here in the opening quarter. That's offsides. Still no flag. Man, I don't know what it's going to take to get an offsides call on the defense for the Cardinals tonight. That's about the 3rd time we've seen them jump into the neutral zone. And we have one of the Bengals is down. And that was Lamba, who I believe took the handoff, as we have some friends flying across the field, some geese.
Ball carried by number 2, Nate Lamba.
He just got back to the line of scrimmage, so that brings up 4th and 3. No gain on 3rd down.
The offensive line.
And it appears that the Bengals are going to punt the ball away to the Cardinals. They actually mark it down at the 45, or just barely inside, so it's going to be, ends up being 4th and 4. So Lamba lost a yard on that run.
4th down for the Bengals from their own 45-yard line. 4th down and 4.
No one back deep for the Cardinals, even though Diamond is going to punt the ball. Kind of surprising. That's a, wow, high arcing punt with a favorable bounce to boot, as it's going to roll to the 25, no, the 15 rather. What a great punt. Wow.
Ball punted by Bengals number 47, Zach Poitras.
Zach Poitras with the big leg right there. Almost a 50-yard punt. Pretty impressive for a high schooler. So Case pinned back deep in their zone at the 15. Ball actually at the 16 officially. That's actually a bit favorable because the ball rolled to the 15 before it rolled back again. So, but 1st and 10 from the 16. Case back on offense. They spread out 2 wide receivers, one on either side and a back. And a lot of room on that far sideline before taken down at the knees. That is a 17-yard run.
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo.
Kudo again.
Brought down by number 3, Cesar Vargas. Penalty flag on the play.
There's a flag down. So this could be coming back. Watching Kudo, and I didn't see the flag actually get thrown. And it's holding on the offense, so a 17-yard run is going to be negated for a loss of yards. And Nate does his happy dance up here on the roof. Not something we want to film. Oh, man, I told you. We have fun up here. Here at Diamond. The press box roof here, it's longer, there's a little more room because it's a bigger booth than Durfee's as well. And then not to mention, I don't know, the atmosphere is just a little lighter, I guess, because we're spread out a little more. You know, we're not like hovering over the coaches and everything. Kudo takes it again. Kudo is taken down after about a 5-6 yard carry. So they get the penalty back and an extra yard. It should bring up second and probably about 9. It actually ends up being second and 13. Second and 13. A lot of cheerleaders for Diman this year, too. Looks like the squad a little bit bigger than in previous years.
With 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter.
21 cheerleaders. Not bad. Oh, J.C. King wraps him up behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yards. Going to bring up third and long.
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo. And on a tackle, number 22, J.C. King. And number 83, C.J. Benberry. Now to bring up third down for the Cardinals from their own 12-yard line. Second down and 15. Third down and 15. Third down.
Trips to the left, one wide out to the right. Hard snap. Looks like they're looking at the near side. They are going to air it out. It's a long pass. They had him overshot. They were looking for Clayton Dyer. Christian Gonzalez was with him, tracking the whole way, along with Lamba. And they overthrew it on third down. So the Cardinals will have to punch it away. Their kicker is going to have to kick from probably right at the goal line. So better hope for a good snap, because if it's a bad one, could be a quick 2 points for the Bengals.
Kicking away for the Cardinals, number 5, Ty Kudo.
Kudo does it all, and he also does the kicking. That's going to land, and it gets a good bounce for the Cardinals. About 6 extra yards once it hit the grass, and it goes over to Bengals territory. Diman will start from their own 49. 2:51 to play in the first. So they'll have to go 51 yards if they want to grab the opening score. We've yet to see any touchdowns here in this first quarter. Bengals break the huddle. Brooks is not under center this time. We'll see if he's going to throw it. They send a man in motion. He's going to keep it himself, look for a block. He's able to cut in and maybe grab a yard or two. Looks like King was the intended kind of lane blocker, if you will, the lead man on that run, that option play. And Brooks kind of ran into him because he ran into the D-line for the Cardinals. So a two-yard carry. It'll be second and 8. Everybody was so bunched up in the middle there. I almost would like to see Brooks try to throw it here. This time they send Lumba in motion. They fake the handoff to get it to King, and it's going to be a loss of yards for King as he is smothered by a number of defenders, including but not limited to Isaac Tucker and John Garrell, 56 and 57 of the linesmen. So King loses the 2 that Brooks got, and we're back to even here, 3rd and 10. Actually ends up being 3rd and 11. He lost 3 yards.
From their own 48-yard line. Second, 3rd down and 11.
.90 seconds to play in the first quarter, as with these last running plays, the clock continues to wind down. Brooks going back under center. Would imagine it's going to be a running play this time for sure. He's going to drop back. He's in trouble. Going to scamper. He gets across the 50, gets a yardage back. Ends up being a 4-yard run, but he's going to be well short. It'll bring up 4th and 7.
Ball held on to by number 1, O'Shawn Brooks.
Well, he made something out of nothing because it looked like he was going to get sacked. He had one of the corners coming in, one of the tight ends rather, coming in from the side there, and now Diman going to have to punt it away.
Away for the Bengals, number 47, Zachary Poitras.
Poitras with a great kick there on the last drive. That's another really strong punt. Outstanding. Down at the 15, maybe the 14. Yeah, right at the 15. That's exceptional. Great punt once again from Poitras. You know, unfortunately, the story is that Bengals forced on a 3-and-out there, could not get really any yardage on that drive.
From their own 15-yard line.
So we'll have 20 seconds of play remaining before we switch sides for the second quarter. So Case will begin again deep in their territory at the 15. We'll probably get one play off.
Seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Score still remains 0-0.
That kind of, you know, looking at what Case did when they were facing the 3rd and long on their last drive before they punted it away. They tried throwing the ball, and yeah, they went long with it, and that's probably the safest place to be. You never want to undershoot your receiver. If you're going to miss, better to miss long when no one can get it. Scudo grabs about 5 yards. There's a flag, late flag. But, you know, in this case, Diman decided to go back to kind of the same formation that they used on the opening plays of the game and run it on 3rd and long. I'd like to see Brooks throw the ball on a situation like that. See what you get. Blocked below the knees. Did not signal, though, which team committed the foul. It's the offense, so that's a big penalty on first down. It's almost a carbon copy of what happened on the last drive for the Cardinals. Instead, it was a hold that time. This time, it's a 5-yard penalty. It's not from the line. It's a spot foul because the line of scrimmage was the 15. They're only at the 11, so it's a spot foul for 5 yards. And it's going to bring up 1st and 14 for the Cardinals. They'll replay the down. Clock will roll 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6. Not sure if they're going to get a playoff. 3, 2, 1. They will not. So no hustle there to get a play off. I'm kind of surprised by that too. But you know what? In a situation like this, again, where you're pinned back and you're looking at extra yardage because of the penalty, sometimes it's good to just wait, line up, and let your coach assess what the defense is going to do, because now you may see Coach Palladino and the Cardinals change up their play when we go to the other side of the field on 1st and long. So really, it's like sending your offense out, taking a timeout, but you're not burning a timeout because the quarter ended. So that probably was the strategy, rather than rushing a play. At least get to see what's going on. Needless to say, 1 in the books, and unfortunately for the football fans watching at home, in 5 quarters of football this season, we've only seen 1 touchdown in our coverage on Fred TV. Kind of a offensive killer, I guess you could say. I don't know. There were plenty of points in the opening night game for both of these teams. Diman only put up 2 touchdowns last week, but they allowed 27 points to West Bridgewater, and then again, Case put up 5 or 6 touchdowns. They were up into the 40s for points in their blowout victory for week 1. So for both of these teams, I'd say for Diman to have held Case scoreless through 1 quarter, the Cardinals put up 20 points in their opening quarter 1 week ago, and Diman has held them to very little yardage. So this is, I'd say, a win. The first quarter's been a win, I think, for the Bengals. Here we go. We go to the other side of the field. 10 more minutes on the clock.
Down for the Cardinals.
And we have first and 14. They'll hand it off. I believe that is Kudo. Kudo still on his feet. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, negating the penalty yardage.
Ball carried by
Be second and 10.
5, Ty Kudo. Tripped up by number 24, Jackie Casper. Second down and 10 for the Cardinals from their own 15-yard line.
Well, late arriver for Diman there as we see Caleb Welker running onto the field, and a quick change there. Hustling off was Nicholas Abrantes. Tackled. Maybe 1 yard on the carry going down. That was Clayton Dyer.
Pass completed to number 11, Clayton Dyer.
Couldn't get anywhere after the
Bengals, number 15,
pass was
Lopes.
caught, and we'll give him a yard on that because ball is inside the 15, so say 3rd and 9. It's a long 9, kind of in between. So 3rd and 9.5.
Bring up 3rd down and 10
Is there such
for
a
the
thing as a half
Cardinals
yard?
from their own 15-yard line.
1.5 feet.
With 8:35 remaining here in the first half.
9 yards and 1.5 feet. Same formation as they did on 3rd and long on the other end on their last drive. Going to air it out. That's going to be well long and almost picked off by Christian
Pass
Gonzalez.
intended by number 7, Daniel Silva. To number 11, Clayton Dyer. Pass falls incomplete.
That was a great throw, though, I'll tell you. Cardinals QB can really get it down the field, but that's twice he's overshot his intended receiver down the field. At that time, the Bengals safety was actually ahead of the receiver. So just as I say, better to miss long. Well, in that case, it was almost picked off by Gonzalez. So we'll keep punting it back and forth here. High snap, but Kudo will get it off. A line drive kick's going to go past Lumba. Roll and keep rolling. Almost had it touch his feet. That's very living dangerously there. You can't have, if it touched him and then the Cardinal picked it up, that's a live ball. So you got to be really careful about that.
Well, they'll take over 1st and 10. With 8:10 remaining here in the first.
If you're not going to catch it and they're swarming in, the other team, the kicking team, you want to just get the heck away. Don't even.
Hot hamburgers, hot dogs, cheeseburger, chips, soda. And as always, don't forget your nachos and cheese.
I told you folks would hear it. There's Lenny with the nachos and cheese. That must be his favorite snack. I'm going to have to ask him at halftime because, boy, he loves promoting that. He hit everything on the menu, but the nachos and cheese is the big hit. Throws it out of play. Brooks had nowhere to throw.
Pass thrown out of bounds by number 1, O'Shawn Brooks.
So a good move by him to just get it out of play.
Steven Senecal. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Bengals from their own 37-yard line.
Bengals break the huddle. Came up empty on 1st and 10, so 2nd and 10. Looking like maybe another passing play here. Brooks with King to his right. Lumba coming in motion now before the snap. Breaking. Oh, and Brooks runs into, man, that was pretty ugly.
Ball held on to by number 1.
Had nowhere to go and just kind of ran right into some of the defenders. I thought they were going to go for Lumba, who he didn't get the handoff. He came in motion before the snap, and then he cut in and kind of let the 2 receivers on the near side lead him, and I thought they were going to go to him in the air, and they did not. Instead, Brooks just lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 10. Bengals with 0 yards on this drive. And now a timeout called by number 87, Lyndon Carrero. So Diman with the timeout. Carrero comes out. Oh, I think Carrero may be hurt. It looked like he was stretching out his right leg a little bit. Maybe he called timeout for that reason. Yeah, he's got a limp. Might be cramping up here. So he had to get off the field. So Diman had to burn a 30-second timeout and sub somebody else in. 3rd and 10. Brooks going to send it down the field looking for Lumba, and that is going to be picked off. Nobody there, and now a mad dash down the sideline would help before getting pushed out of bounds. Daniel Silva stood there waiting to catch that like a center fielder on a pop fly in baseball. Nobody home or looking for that ball.
Forced out of bounds by Bengals, number 22, J.C. King. Cardinals take over 1st and goal. From the
yeah,
Bengals
Lumba was
7-yard
out
line.
there running around in circles. Not the finest offensive series for the Bengals that time. And now the Cardinals down in the red zone. You're lucky it wasn't a pick 6. As it is, they picked up almost 50 yards, in excess of 50 yards. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line for the Cardinals. With 6:56 to play in the half, they'll look to try to punch it in and grab the first score. Kudo gets dragged back by J.C. King on the tackle at about the 5-yard line, so short gain.
Ball carried by
He
number
grabbed
5,
2 yards,
Kudo.
so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5.
Number 22, J.C. King. And number 47, Zach Poitras. 2nd down and goal for the Cardinals from the Bengals 5-yard line.
Boomer the Bengal making his rounds, hoping that he doesn't see his team go down 6-0. So Silva is actually the QB, and Silva's the one who got that pick, ironically. Another missed tackle, a flag. Taken down in the backfield. We'll see what the penalty is. The marker's down at the 10-yard line.
Ball carried by number 11, Clayton Dyer.
As it stands right now, a 7-yard
Number 15, Christopher Lopes.
7-yard loss, and the penalty goes on the offense. It was a block in the back. Truthfully, if I'm Diman, I decline this. Take 3rd down and the loss of 6 yards, 7 yards. Yeah, decline it. Good move. Way to go, coach. It's like he can hear me. Absolutely. So, fans at home, if you're wondering why, right, what's the benefit? So the penalty was a 5-yard penalty, right? If you take and accept the penalty, you get to replay the down. So it would be 2nd down and goal from the 12-yard line or from the 11-yard line. Instead, by declining the penalty, they take the loss of yards was actually more than what the penalty would give you, plus the down stands. You don't replay the down. So now you push back the Cardinals an extra yard. They lost 6, and they lose the down by not taking the penalty and replaying the penalized play, if that makes sense to you. So it brings up 3rd and goal from the 12 instead of 2nd and goal from the 11. Basically giving the Cardinals an extra play. Honestly, it's 4-down territory. Based on last week's score, the Cardinals obviously can kick it because they had a true football score, 42 points. So who knows, a field goal may not be out of the question, but I would imagine, you're almost at the 10-yard line there. Probably would be 4-down territory if it gets to that point. Silva rolls out, going to throw on the run to the end zone, and it's picked off in the back of the end zone. Bengals recover with a touchback. Can anybody score? Goodness gracious.
For number 11, Clayton Dyer. By number 7,
Well,
Daniel
no one is
Silva.
scoring and answering the scoring, but they're answering on turnovers, that's for sure.
Christian Gonzalez.
The first 2 drives of the game were back-to-back fumble recoveries, and now here in the second quarter, back-to-back pickoffs. So the Bengals, we're going to start from the 20-yard line. When you catch it in the end zone, it's a touchback. So they get to get out of the end zone as well. How lucky is that? Goodness gracious. I don't think these teams want to score. Play whistled dead. I did not see a flag.
Penalty flag on the play.
I did not see a flag.
Timeout, Bengals.
It was a timeout. Yeah, so no penalty. It was a timeout right before the snap. All right, coming out of the timeout, Bengals will start their drive. 1st and 10 from the 20 with 5:36 to play here in the first half. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see a score before halftime. This has been really a very weird first half. Lumba dives down and will be marked down at the 23-yard line, so that'll be a 3-yard carry, 2nd and 7.
Daniel Silva. That'll bring up 2nd down for the Bengals.
That ball kind of in between the 23 and the 24, so we'll call it 7 yards to gain. And we come into a world where that last pick that was made by the Cardinals was actually the QB. Everybody offsides, and I've yet to hear a whistle.
Penalty flag on the play.
When play is dead, I'm going to assume it's a false start on the offense because usually, when it's the defense, play keeps going. We'll await the call here. No.
After the flag, that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Bengals from their own 23-yard line.
So loss of a down, but no loss of yardage. Not sure what the call was. There was no signal on the field by the officials.
Loose ball recovered by Bengals number 2, Nate Lumba. That'll bring up 4th down for the Bengals with 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Score still remains Cardinals 0 and your Bengals 0.
A loss of a yard, and it's going to be 4th and 8, Poitras. Still trying to figure out what that penalty was because the ball did not move. If it's a false start, you penalized on yardage, but the ball never moved. it was 2nd and 7, and all of a sudden 3rd and 7, and I never, quite honestly, I never saw a flag go in the air, and I never saw the official actually make a call to say what the penalty was, the alleged penalty.
And as always,
I am not sure what happened there. That was very odd. Well, the Bengals in the huddle here during the timeout before the kick. So they're going to be, it'll be 4th and 8 from the 22-yard line. They're going to punt it away. Poitras heading back to kick it away.
Get them up right at the top of the bleachers. On sale today. Get them while they last.
Clayton Dyer at the 50-yard line. Back deep to receive the punch from Poitras, who's at about the 8-yard line. Poitras is average about 40-plus yards in the air. Another good snap. That one not as good with the distance. Takes a bounce back and grabbing it and falling to the turf.
Ball punted away by number 47,
Eric
Zach
Pascal.
Poitras. Cardinals take over 1st and 10.
So the Cardinals will start in Bengals territory. Good field position. That punt was lofted a little bit too high. Didn't get as much distance on it.
Take your selfie with Boomer the Bengal. Boomer the Bengals accepting donations. Get your selfie taken with Boomer.
Boomer! Boomer the Bengal. Boomer was a late arriving fan tonight, but now here and keeping the fans excited. We've had more stoppages in play because of these officials tonight. I'd love to know what the discussion is. It's worse than the NFL. Are these the replacement refs from a couple years ago? I mean, seriously. I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing because they haven't made really any bad calls per se. But there's just no communication and there's constant stoppages in play. Let's get the game going here. .3:15 to play in the half. Cardinals start at the Bengal 44. They hand it off to Kudo. Had a nice lane there up the middle and picked up about 6 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 4.
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo. In on a tackle, number 47, Zach Poitras. That'll bring up 2nd down for the Cardinals. 2nd and 5 from the Bengals 39-yard line. 2:45 remaining here in the first half.
So they give Kudo just 5.
0-0.
So it ends up actually only being a 5-yard carry. So 2nd and 5 from the 39. And they're going right back to him as he runs into the pile and going to be very close. It looks like he's going to be a yard short from where the linesman just ran out.
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo.
Yeah, going to be short by a little bit less than a yard. So 3rd and less than 1. QB sneak, and that was all too easy for the Cardinals. They walked it right over the Bengals line.
Daniel Silva.
It was a 1st down. Silva kept it himself. And we're under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Cardinals' best drive so far. And I say that because they picked up a 1st down. Clock has not started. Not sure why. It was rolling. There was no timeout called. It should have rolled on the whistle. Bengals stop him after maybe a yard. or 2. It looks like a 2-yard carry. They're going to spot it at the 29. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Ball carried by number 5.
90 seconds to play in the half.
And on a tackle, number 3, Cesar Vargas.
Case is going to get the ball to start the second half. So if you're Diamond, you'd love a stop here and
Timeout Case.
prevent the Cardinals from scoring. Another timeout called by the Cardinals to stop the clock. So that's what actually happened on that last down. So 90 seconds exactly. They correct the time after the timeout, or with the timeout, stopping the clock. Silva rolling out, throws on the run, has his man, tackled. That's number 24,
By number 7,
Alexander
Silva.
Janicki.
To number 24, Alexander Janicki. And on a stop for the Bengals, number 3, Cesar Vargas.
That moved the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line with 1:21 to play after another timeout. So Cardinals using the timeouts here to give them some time. And they're finally getting into a bit of a rhythm offensively. They hand it off to Kudo, who goes right up the chute for about 5 yards.
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo. And on a stop, number 3, Cesar Vargas. Number 87, Lyndon Carrero.
Another timeout.
Timeout, Cardinals.
Cardinals full team timeout this time. It's going to be 2nd and 5 from the 11 with 1:11 on the clock. Gotta love the timeout music. Disco Inferno. Okay, here we go. Back to the action. 2nd and 5. Toss out to Kudo. Kudo running into traffic. Diamond can't put him down. Looked like he was going to be down 5 yards back. Instead, he loses about 2. So it still is a win for the Bengals. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 13. J.C. King on the tackle. And another timeout.
Timeout, Cardinals.
45 seconds left. And another full team timeout. Cue the music. Third and 7. 3rd and 7 coming up. Here we go. Silva keeps it. Silva into the end zone for the touchdown. Case will strike first late in the first half. And if you're wondering why I'm laughing, it wasn't because of that. Nate Burns just putting on a dancing clinic up here. during the timeouts. Oh, my gosh.
The play is good for a Cardinals touchdown.
So the Cardinals able to get it in there to the end zone. And it looks like they are going to go for the extra point. Again, based on the score last week, I figured that they could kick. And it's going to be number 58 doing the kicking, Jared Ribello. And that is it did go. Wow. Talk about finding the corner, my gosh. 1 inch the other way, and it would not have gone.
The uprights by number 58, Jared Ribello.
The scoreboard keeps cutting out across the way. There, it's back now. 7-0 the score with 36 seconds, and that's really, what you wanted to avoid if you're Diamond, especially knowing that the Cardinals are going to get the ball back to begin the second half. So kind of unfortunate the way this first half ended up because, both teams have had their chances, don't get me wrong. We've seen enough turnovers in this game to last us a couple weeks. Couple picks, couple fumbles from both sides. But the Cardinals take the early lead here in the final minute of the second quarter. It's 7-0 with 36 seconds to play before the half. Lumba back deep at the 20 to receive the kick from Ribello, who will be kicking it off from the 40.
Kicking away for the Cardinals, number 50.
It kind of went for a squib kick after the opening kickoff. That was a squib kick on the ground. Only went about 25 yards. We'll see if he gets this one in the air. And why not? Let's call another timeout. What is that, 10 for the Cardinals now?
Timeout Cardinals.
We've had a lot of timeouts from Coach Palladino in this final, 2.5 minutes of the second quarter. I'm not quite sure the reason behind a timeout on the kickoff, because you're not gonna go for an onside kick here. Doesn't make any sense. Well, that's going to go all the way back down to the 10 before Lumba picks it up. And he gets wrapped around and spun to the ground at the 22.
Punt return by number 2, Nate Lumba. Wrapped up by number 57, John Gorell. First and 10.
So first and 10 for the Bengals with 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Bengals lined up to run a couple plays here, not just going to take a knee and go into the half. King with the handoff has been very quiet in this game. Gets spun around and taken down for a loss of yards. Man, not the J.C. King that we saw last year for sure, at least not in this game. He's offensively, he has not done too much.
Ball carried by number 22, J.C. King.
We saw
by number 21,
Diamond's game against Tri-County last year, which was played over at New Bedford Voc, again, because this field was not usable. J.C. King had a bunch of touchdowns in that game. That was a blowout win for Diamond. That last play ends up being the end of the first half here, and the Cardinals able to again take that lead very late in this first half. They are up 7-0 over the Bengals in a turnover-ridden first half. Both teams not playing bad football per se, but definitely have quite a few things to clean up here at the half. So they'll go into their huddles and discuss what went on in the first 20 minutes of play. We'll see you back on the other side for the third quarter after this. As As Hell's Bells fades out, we'll fade into the third quarter.
Second half of football.
Gotta love the old football rock anthems.
Number 47, Zach Poitras.
Poitras will kick off for the first time tonight because the Bengals have yet to score. And it goes out of bounds on the kickoff, which is a flag. Not a good way to start the second half. Case grabbed the opening score. About 30 seconds left in that first half. And they will start with the ball here, and they'll start with upgraded field position after the kickoff rolled out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. And they'll get to go back on offense. The Bengals defense will be tested here in back-to-back trips. Luckily, they had that 15-minute halftime break. I really do think this has been a fairly solid game. You know, I mean, both defenses have not been bad. It's really been more that there's been turnovers, which have prevented the offenses from doing much. Nice toss out to Kudo, who gave a little check to his own teammate before getting dragged down at the 35. There is a flag down around the 30.
Penalty flag on the play.
And my guess is this will end up on the offense.
Number 5, Ty Kudo, the ball carrier.
And it's a hold on the offense, yes. So that penalty will be assessed, and they'll replay the down. So another good run. See, you know, we've seen that happen a couple times for Case tonight as well, that they get a good run on first down, and it comes back because of a hold or, you know, a careless penalty. That's about the third time we've seen that happen. So
that'll bring the ball
what should have been a 2nd and 5 or a 2nd and 4 from the 35-36 is now 1st and 20 from the 20. So
there was a
long way to go. Silva going long and deep, looking for Lumba. Lumba, beautiful defense. Stuck the hands up. The ball was intended for Dyer.
Pass intended for number 11, Clayton Dyer.
Great job by Lumba. Patrolling the sidelines here.
That'll bring up
2nd and 20.
For the Cardinals. 2nd down and 20.
Boy, a pick right there would have been sweet because he had some room to move up the sidelines. Lumba did, but nonetheless, the forced incompletion there by the Bengals secondary. That pays off. Nicely done. Very similar formation here. Wide receivers both sides of the field. Silva gets by one of the linesmen out of bounds after a short gain.
Ball carried by number 7, Daniel Silva.
It looked like Silva with C.J. Benberry for the Bengals there, number 83. He was charging at Silva, and Silva just a little bit too quick and crafty, was able to kind of go end around and avoid getting sacked. They spot the ball actually right at the 20, so Silva did not end up, despite all the running he did, only got back to the line of scrimmage, did not gain anything. So 3rd and 20, 3rd and very long, trips to the near side. We'll see if Silva goes there, if he goes to the other side of the field like he did in the first half. Goes this side, bouncer, incomplete on the ground. And the Bengals with a tremendous job defensively on that series. 2 incomplete passes. Really, the whole 3 and out there forced by Lumba to start it because that ball was a catchable ball here at the 50-yard line. And instead, it was an incomplete, then the run, then another incomplete, and now they will punt it away on 4th and 20. A bouncing snap. And then a booming kick. Wow, that ball just got shot out of a cannon. J.C. King will watch it go out of play at around the 36-yard line.
After the punt, Bengals will take over 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. 9-12 in the third quarter.
That was a great defensive series,
ladies and gentlemen,
for the Bengals.
Football is brought to you by Room 251. Come on by Diamond's Restaurant. Get waited on by Diamond students. The best meal in the city, come by to Room 251.
Had the chance to talk with Superintendent Tom Aubin during the half, down in the stands watching, of course, and so excited he is to have sports back here. Again, it was very trying on the fall teams last year. I mean, soccer, 2 soccer teams, and that's going to be a false start. The defense baited him, and they flinched. So 5-yard penalty on the Bengals. There's movement before the snap, but you know, when you got to move all your football games and all your soccer games to another facility, it's very difficult. And you know, Durfee's going to experience some of the pains of rescheduling and using different locations in different phases of the new school construction, because one of the phases is a renovation of the Luke Urban Fieldhouse, which would take away volleyball in fall and spring, girls and boys. It would take away basketball and a lot of indoor practices even. You know, baseball, everybody uses the field house. Phys ed as well throughout the school day. J.C. King gets the pass, the little toss, I should say, stops and has absolutely nowhere to go. Man, he looks lost out there tonight. This is not the same J.C. King we saw a year ago. Really having a tough game. Got a feel for him. I'm sure he's disappointed too. I mean,
carried by Bengals number 22, J.C. King.
But needless to say,
27-yard line.
Superintendent Aubin very happy to have games right here at Diman, and particularly the football games, which are always the biggest draw in terms of a crowd. Basketball brings in a good crowd as well, but you know, the Friday night football games is really nothing like it. And here, Diman's got a really good setup. It's kind of unique that, you know, the parking lot behind us is ground level, so the press box we're at ground level, and then the bleachers and the lay of the land just drops in front of us, which is why we have such a good angle here for filming and doing the production. So it's really very unique. A flag, Brooks taken down in the backfield in what has been a very ugly drive for the Bengals. We'll see what this flag is going to be.
Flag on the play.
I think it's going to be on Diman.
And on a tackle for the Cardinals, number 50, Noah Casado.
Still awaiting a call on the penalty. False start, so play is dead. That play does not count. Instead, another 5-yard penalty.
False start on the offense. It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Bengals with 8:03 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
They are declining the penalty due to the loss of yards, and it'll be 3rd and 17. Excuse me. Actually, looking at third.
Bring up 4th down for the Bengals. 4th down.
No, this is 3rd down. Lenny has it wrong with the PA as Brooks can't get out of his own way, and his teammates causing traffic jams as well. Man, that was an ugly drive. I hate to say it. That was really rough for the Bengals. Pretty much as bad as the Case Cardinals drive the series before.
1st and 10 from the Bengals, 22-yard line.
That was 3rd down. We went from 2nd down to 4th down, and now the officials are in the huddle once again. This is not 1st and 10 for Case, unless I'm missing something here. This should be 4th down, and the Bengals should be kicking, which is why Poitras is out there.
It's the guy on the flag that's stupid.
4th and long for the Bengals, as they'll be punting away by number 47, Zach Poitras.
So that was 3rd down. It's 4th and 24. This is 4th down, and how appropriate the Jeopardy music. It's like makes me think of the Chicago hit. Does anybody really know what time it is? Now another flag. We have a delay of game here. That was a penalty on the sideline for being too close. The players,
That's why you've got two coaches down
the players they're in the same spot that they were in before. Oh my goodness gracious.
there. What are you doing?
Poitras's punt goes out at the 40-yard line.
Cardinals will take over from the Bengals 40-yard line. 1st and 10 with 7:16 remaining here in the third quarter. Get your pom-pom hats up at the table outside the press box.
That was a rough drive for everybody there, for the
Also,
guys
get
working
your
the chains, the officials, the sidelines, the offense.
jackets.
Man, we'll see if the defense can come up with a good stop here. Case with excellent field position. They start at the 40 of Diman. Kudo runs into some traffic, a 3-yard carry. 2nd and 7 coming up from the 37.
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo. In on the stop for the Bengals, number 87, Lyndon Carrera. And number 24, Jackie Casper. Second down and 7 for the Cardinals from the Bengals 37-yard line.
Silva with the option play, and he's going to get dragged down after 2. Wow, nice recovery there. J.C. King, I'll tell you, King's had a better night defensively than offensively. I've been impressed with some of his tackles. It's really the offense where it's been surprising that he's been kind of flat, but defensively he's been there for a lot of tackles. That was a big one because it looked like Silva was going to put the pedal to the metal there and head up the field, and he got stopped, and then King wrapped him up with the jersey, took him down. So 3rd down and a short 5. We'll say 3rd and 4.5. Got to get to the 30, and the ball is just inside the 35. So a short 5 on 3rd down. Silva gets it to Kudo. Kudo almost tripped on his own player who was down, one of his linesmen there. That was, I think it was 59, Deliker. Kind of got in the way there. And a nice stop on D after 1 yard there, or maybe 2-yard carry. It's going to be 4th and 3.
And on a stop, number 22, J.C. King. Number 83, C.J. Penberry. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Cardinals.
We'll see, the Cardinals are at the 33. They were already up 7-0. We'll see if they can, looks like they are going to go for it here on 4th and 3. Trips to the left. Silva's going to run it himself, and he is stopped. I think he's going to be short. This is going to be extremely close, but it looks like he's short of the line to gain, which is the 30. This should be diamond ball and a turnover on downs. They may measure it, but the spot looks favorable. This should be diamond ball. All right, they're gonna mark. Let's see if we get a close up here on the chains, right where the ball is spotted, and we'll see how close this is. But it doesn't look like he got there. Short by inches, it appears. Bengals get the ball. How about that? It doesn't get much closer than that, folks. Huge stop on 4th and 3 for the Bengals. That's a big win right there for Diman. I'd say the defense is what's keeping Diman in this game.
And we'll take over on downs. 1st and 10.
Hopefully the defense here, they're a little bit of a charge that they're getting can spark the offense a little bit. They've done little to nothing since their first couple drives. These last few drives have been really rough. Got to get a rhythm here, and part of it's because Case is so big up front. They can't seem to penetrate anything. Although that was a good, that was a decent run up the chute there for Lumba. Lumba picks up 5, and he did go right through the pile. We haven't really seen much of that lately been more running to the outside and getting basically swarmed by the Cardinals, 2 or 3 at a time. So that time going right up the middle, there was an open lane for 5 yards. 2nd and 5 now from the 36. They'll hand it off again. Lumba trying to cut around, got a key block, and he's going to be just short of the first, or they're going to get, I think they're going to give it to him. It was the 41. They're spotting it there. That's going to move the chains.
And on a stop for the Cardinals, number 1, Keegan LeCompte.
That's a favorable spot. I thought he was down at the 40.
Result of the play is good for a Bengals.
Bengals move the chains. That's big right there for Diman. Again, you got to get something going offensively. Lumba with 2 5-yard runs. And that one there, he had to really fight for it, and he got a key block there. Again, following his lead. Gonna give it to Lumba again, and he is stopped right behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Ball carried by number 2, Nate Lumba. In on a tackle for the Cardinals, number 5, Ty Kudo.
Kudo with another play defensively.
3:30 remaining here in the third quarter. The score still visiting Cardinals 7 and your Bengals 0. 2nd down for the Bengals. 2nd 11 from their own 40-yard line.
They toss it out to Lumba. Lumba gets wrapped around the neck. Grabs 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and long. So look at about 3rd and 8 here from the 43-yard line. He's got to get it. They got to get across midfield to the 49 of Case to convert here. So 8 yards. Kind of a tall task because we really have not seen either side pick up a big chunk of yardage tonight. 2:30 remaining in the third quarter. It's been a very quick third quarter. Wonder if they'll sweep it to our side here. There's a wide open field. That was almost offsides. A fumble, and Brooks is going to have to fall on it. And a disastrous 3rd down play will bring up 4th down and about 15.
Brooks at the 35-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down and long for the Bengals.
That's not the first time that they botched the handoff tonight either. So Diman going to be forced to punt yet again.
Bengals, number 47, Zach Poitras.
Poitras
back to receive, number 11, Clayton Dyer.
Gets the snap. That's a great punt. That's probably his best one. And it's going to roll down to the 27. I'm sorry, the 23-yard line. That was one of his better ones tonight.
Touchdown by Bengals, number 15, Christopher Lopez.
So the ball is down to the 23. It stops the clock while the units switch out with 1:24 to play in the third quarter. Again, Case leading 7-0. Bengals have been held scoreless. They did put up 12 points last week, but tonight really having some trouble getting the offense into any kind of a rhythm. And, I mean, you got to credit. I mean, if you look at the size of the Cardinals up front versus Diman, I mean, they have the clear advantage. It's about now trying to make some adjustments. I thought we would see some changes, and I'm not noticing as many. But, again, you know, on the other side, Diman's defense has equally been as good. So it's been a tough night for either offense. That was a 4-yard carry for the Cardinals to bring up 2nd and 6, and it's the final minute now of the third quarter. We're under 60 seconds. You know, this is one of those games where it's actually going to be 2nd and 7. They moved it. They adjusted the spot a bit. You know, when you look at these games here, especially for the Cardinals, I mean, you have no reason right now. You're still up, and the Bengals are having all kinds of trouble with offense. And again, Case, the only good drive of the game is the one that Case scored on. Other than that, they haven't done much either, but they have the advantage. They're up 7-0. So, you know, for them, they just want to shorten the game, keep running the ball, keep letting the clock roll down, and not give Diamond much of a chance to come back. I mean, Diamond only down by 1 score here, but it seems like Case could be up 21-0 right now just because of how tough this game has been for both offenses. Got a timeout on the field. And that's going to keep the clock frozen at 35 seconds.
Timeout taken by the Bengals. Timeout.
Well, next Friday, we will not have football next weekend. Durfee will still be away. They're heading to Wellesley. They're in Taunton this Friday for Week 2. Week 3, they'll be at Wellesley. Week 3 was supposed to be here at Diamond, but with the news of Conley canceling their season, the Bengals' Week 3 opponent will not be playing at all, so Diamond has a bye. Because of the cancellation announcement, it doesn't count as a forfeit. So Diamond does not even get a W automatically out of that. They just end up with a bye. So the Bengals will be off next week and will not have football next week. And then the following Friday, Week 4, the 28th, Durfee will come home for 3 straight home games. They'll start off with the Dartmouth Indians. Silva trying to get to the line to gain, and he is stopped and wrapped up. Got a big bear hug there and dragged down to the turf.
Ball carried by number 7, Daniel Silva.
He stopped 1 yard short. And now 10 seconds left in the third quarter.
10 seconds remains here in the third quarter.
That's going to do it. The Cardinals will not get a playoff. So another 10 minutes in the books. In a scoreless third quarter, the Cardinals continue to lead this one 7-0. And they'll have a 3rd and 1 from the 32 after the break in between quarters.
Bengals were able to total just over $200. Thank you very much. Give yourself a round of applause.
Okay, here we go. Fourth quarter. About to commence here at the Harrington Athletic Field.
3rd down and 1.
Evan Massoud with you on Fred TV, and the Cardinals will convert. An easy conversion there for 6 yards. They only needed 1, or 7 yards rather.
Brought down by number 2, Nate Lumba. Result of the play is good for.
No, we'll keep counting, Evan. Evan, you got to count better than that. 9-yard carry for the first down. They're down at the 41. They were at the 32. Only needed 1 yard. So the Cardinals with a Nice dash there for 9 yards and a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Kudo. Man, and
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo.
he's going to get there, I think, or he's going to be just short.
J.C. King.
The linesman saying it's going to be at the just inside the 50. They had to get to the 49. Yeah, they're going to be short.
2nd and short.
That was a great run, though, again. Back-to-back strong runs for the Cardinals. We're looking to try to put this game away. A touchdown here in the 4th would almost seal it. And we're going to measure. Geesh, I can see from here that it's not a first down. Not even close. So half a yard. We'll see if they go with a QB sneak or not. Just saw Silva tapping his helmet, so I don't know if that means he's calling his own number. He is under center, and we've seen him sneak it already tonight, and he will sneak it. Powering it across for a gain of about 4 yards, 3 yards, 3 or 4.
After the QB sneak,
stopped at the 44, so or 46, so a 3-yard carry and another first down. So the Cardinals, all of a sudden, with the running game getting into a bit of a rhythm here as they're into Diamond territory. The Bengals going to need a stop here and fast because the clock will continue to roll, and you know the Cardinals will bleed every second of that play clock. We'll hand it off to Kudo, who gets taken down after a gain of about 5. They're going to give him 4 on it, so it'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Carried by number 5, Ty Kudo. And on a stop for the Bengals, number 24, Jackie Casper. That'll bring up 2nd down for the Cardinals from the Bengals' 42-yard line.
Again to Kudo, who's had a great run, or a great drive, I should say, and that was a great run. Picks up about 15. And all of a sudden, the Cardinals are running at will, something that has been difficult through this game for them. The Diamond defense has been very impressive and have forced a couple 3-and-outs.
First down.
And now inside the 30.
1st and 10 Cardinals from the Bengals' 27-yard line.
That was a 15-yard carry. 1st and 10 from the 27. Kudo with it again. I mean, these Bengals having trouble taking him down, so why not go to the hot hand? And that's at least another 5.
Ball carried by Cardinals number 5, Ty Kudo. And on a stop, number 3, Cesar Vargas.
That was exactly 5 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 5.
That'll bring up 2nd down for the Cardinals.
And if this continues, Kudo's just going to march them right into the end zone with a game-sealing touchdown here. It's still only 7-0, which I have to say, again, big credit to Diamond's defense after the way Case played last week. And again, Case put up 20 points in their first quarter 1 week ago. So to have held Case to just the 7 points to this point, I think is very impressive. But, you know, the disappointment of that, though, is that Diamond unable to find the end zone even once in 3+ quarters of play. At this point, it does feel like mission impossible. looking around to see if Tom Cruise is going to be hanging from a light tower or something. I don't know.
Hell, you could say that 10,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough.
It fires me up, man.
Oh, look, say it one more time.
Shake it, babe!
Does that feel good?
Yeah, it rhymes. We're both verbs. Awesome.
Very long full team timeout. I know they're all timed, but sometimes it just seems like a lot longer than, I don't know. It's very strange. Regardless, 2nd and 5
Second down and 5 for the
from the
Cardinals.
22.
Bengals 21-yard line.
And what do you know? They're going to give it a Kudo again, who's going to force his way up the middle. Gets to the 20, so that's the shortest run on this
Ball
drive
by
for
number
him.
5, Ty Kudo. Tripped up by number 22, J.C. King. And number 2, Nate Lumba.
Be 3rd and 3 from the 20, so the Cardinals knocking at the door to the red zone.
That'll bring up 3rd down for the Cardinals.
This is just their 3rd trip to the red zone tonight. Threw a pick in the first trip, scored in the 2nd trip, and now here in the 3rd trip. We'll await to see what happens as the scoreboard continues to wind down as we're starting to come up on the 6-minute marker. Kudo still on his feet, needs 3 yards. He's going to be awfully close. We'll see where forward progress gets him. I think he's going to get to the 18. He needed to get to the 17.
Cardinals number 5, Ty Kudo.
So he's going to be a yard short.
Just inside the Bengals 20-yard line.
And again, you know, first of all, given the lead, given the position, and given how good the QB sneak has been tonight with Silva, one would imagine they will go for it and probably have some success. The Bengals have not been able to stop the QB sneak tonight. And Coach Winarski calls timeout.
Cardinals from the Bengals 18-yard line. Timeout taken on the field.
Out of the timeout, here we go. 4th and 1. Silva looking for the QB sneak. There is a flag in the backfield, and this could be big for Diman. It is. It's going to back up the offense 5 yards, and it'll bring up 4th and 6. So you can't run a QB sneak there. That's a big killer for the Cardinals.
Conley today 3-3. And the boys varsity soccer team won 1-0 over Conley. And if you're interested, the Red Sox are losing 5-0. Also, boys varsity soccer game tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. versus Somerset, here, live from the Harrington Sports Complex.
Passing on 4th down, there is a flag. It's incomplete. Flag thrown in the backfield here.
Pass falls incomplete, and there's a penalty flag on the play.
Gonna back up the offense a little more. Another false start. So what was a 4th and 1 and a QB sneak that was successful? It backs up the offense. And they, of course, will deny or decline the penalty because it was an incomplete pass. So it is a turnover on downs, and the Bengals, with 5:24, will start at their own 23, 1st and 10. Let's see if they can put a drive together and tie up this game. Got to find some rhythm offensively. That's really the only thing that's been lacking in their game tonight. They hand it off on 1st down, and a decent run, maybe about 4 yards. I think that was Lumba who got the handoff. King came out of the pile as well.
Ball carried by number 2, Nate Lumba.
It was Lumba. So he picked up 4 yards.
For the Cardinals, number 5, Ty
Bring up
Kuda.
second and a long 6, we'll say. Second and a long 6. Not quite 7, not quite 6. So kind of right in the middle. Hand it off again. Lumba going down for a loss of yards at the 25. Tell you, it is amazing to me how good the line is for the Cardinals. I mean, they are moving almost simultaneously with the snap. I haven't seen a high school football team whose line is that in sync and timing things that well. And what's amazing, they haven't been called offsides. There were a couple times that earlier in the first half that they sure looked like they jumped into the neutral zone, and it wasn't called. But, I mean, they line up right there, and they're always perfect movement, perfect timing. Lumba grabbed at the ankles. Not sure if he even got back to the line of scrimmage. I think he lost another yard.
Ball carried by number 2.
No, they give him a yard. This is now going to be 3rd down. For whatever reason, whoever's working the down marker on the other side of the field is jumping the gun. Once again, this is 3rd down. It is only 3rd down. It should be 3rd down. It is 4th down. They're calling it 4th down. And another punt from Poitras. Not a bad one at all.
Ball punted away by number 47, Zach Poitras.
That's a real shame for the Bengals.
Cardinals 38-yard line by number 15.
Not able to get a 1st down, and now handing the ball back to Case.
3:21 remaining here in the game. Case takes over 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Score still remains 7-0 Cardinals.
So been a tough start to our Fred TV coverage here in the high school sports season. Durfee got shut out last week. We did Big 3 girls soccer, Durfee and New Bedford last night, and Durfee was shut out there. And now Diman getting shut out here in week 2 of the football season. So we've yet to see any scoring for any of the home teams in the 3 games we've picked to start the season off. Kind of a rough start. Case moves the ball on 1st down.
Ball carried by number 5, Ty Kudo. And on the tackle, number 63, Nick Abrantes. Number 87, Lyndon Carrero. That'll bring up 2nd down for the Cardinals.
2nd and about 3
44-yard line.
after a 7-yard carry, or just short of. Again, kind of at the half-yard marker, so 6 to 7 yards on the carry, 3 or 4 to go on 2nd down, and the clock is just going to keep winding down. If the Cardinals can pick up a 1st down, they hand it off to Kudo. There is a flag in the backfield, so this one most likely will be coming back.
Penalty flag on the play.
False start on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. So we'll replay 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and 9. And that's once again a 1st down that had been negated due to a false start. We've seen that quite a few times tonight. And I'd say quite a few times too many for Coach Palladino.
2nd down. 2nd and 8.
So 2nd and about 8.5, because we were about 2nd and 3.5 before. So again, kind of right in the middle. Well, it looks like one of the Cardinals players down there on the other side of the field thought I saw a couple of ones. That might be Dyer, number 11. See one of the trainers out there. Gonna go stretch out the leg. Could be a cramp. They didn't see anything that was really anything too drastic on that last play. Just your generic run up the middle. An injury timeout here on the field with 2:19 to play in the ball game. 7-0 Case. Here in the fourth quarter, they'll have a second and about 8.5 yards when we come out of this injury timeout. So again, Diman was supposed to play at home next week, but with Conley canceling their football season, it becomes a bye for the Bengals. Durfee will be at Wellesley for week 3. They'll return home to face the Dartmouth Indians in week 4, which is September 28th. We will be back at Mack Aldridge Field for coverage of that matchup. Of course, we'll have, that's just the football outlook. We will have other games in the meantime until our next football game. That was Dyer, but Dyer getting up on his own and walking off, so that's a good thing to see. But yes, of course, we will see more sports on Fred TV in the 2 weeks from now till the next football game. We have more soccer on tap, some girls volleyball as well, field hockey. So really good fall season here.
On your way out at the barrels provided for you. Thank you. Second down and 8 for the Cardinals.
Second and a long 8 for the Cardinals.
Here in the game.
Oh, a ball is loose, and it looks like the runner, the back there, was able to fall on it. That was Kudo.
Loose ball recovered by the Cardinals, number 5.
Diman can't catch a break. How big would that have been if the Bengals were able to get that?
Timeout taken.
And now a timeout on the field with 2:11 to play. Lining up with trips to the right after the loss of 2 because of the fumble. 3rd and 10. Chasing him down. Can't make the play. King chasing down Silva. Silva gets positive yardage out of it somehow. And one of the reasons is that Benberry could not wrap him up.
By number 7, Daniel Silva.
Silva actually got 2 yards out of that.
J.C. King.
That's amazing. He was all the way on this side of the field, redirected, and still got 2 yards. It's going to be 4th and 8 with exactly 2 minutes to play, and the Cardinals will punt it. So the Bengals, another false start, it appears, coming. Yes, so it's going to back up. It's going to help Diman out. It's going to back up the Cardinals a little bit more. 5 more yards back. J.C. King back deep to receive this punt. Low snap again. Little line drive's going to bounce once. King's going to not touch it. It stops. So, wow, kind of stopped dead in its tracks. So the Bengals are going to start at their own 34. Not bad field position. They're saying the 35. So
score still remains Case Cardinals 7 and your Bengals 0.
last chance for romance for the Bengals. $1:47 on the clock. They have the ball. Can they at least get a first down and try to get something going offensively? It's really been a struggle tonight. A low snap. They'll toss it out to King. And King can't even get back to the line, or just barely does.
Ball held onto by number 22, J.C. King.
Gonna go no huddle here quickly. Brooks asking for the play from the sidelines. Gonna cue everybody quickly and now get back to the line.
Down Bengals.
Again, King really having a rough time trying to get anything going with the ground game. Credit the Case defense. Brooks gonna get sacked.
Ball held on to
and a timeout.
O'Shawn Brooks. Brought down by number 88, Steven Senecal. And number 50, Noah Casado. Timeout taken.
The timeout stops the clock at 1:10. With the sack, brings back Diman a yard. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 11. I would imagine they're going to have to pass the ball here. Been a tough game, though. Reminds me very much of last week with the Durfee game. It's just that there were less penalties and less turnovers with the Durfee-Somerset game. But this game here, very similar to it. A defensive shootout. Brooks has time. Pile is collapsing, and he's going to throw it away because there's nowhere to throw it. Wow. Fourth and 11.
Pressured and thrown out of bounds by number 1, O'Shawn Brooks. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Bengals.
See if Brooks can get one off. Here comes pressure in the corner. From the blind side, he's leveled. It's incomplete, and a turnover on downs.
Pass will fall incomplete.
So a 4-play final drive for the Bengals for negative yardage. Man, gonna have to go back to the drawing board offensively here after this game. Very tough one for the Bengals.
Please dispose of all your trash.
And again, I mean, it hasn't necessarily been a bad game. I mean, because Case's offense has had little to show for it as well. Just that one drive at the end of the second quarter, the first half, and they were able to convert for some points here. But that was it. Victory formation, one knee taken, and they'll have to do it one final time.
By number 7, Daniel Silva.
And now as we roll up to 40 seconds, inside 40, one more knee to seal the victory. And we've had 2 back-to-back weeks of football that have not been too pretty, needless to say. Although I think the Durfee-Somerset game was a little more entertaining, a little bit better, a little cleaner of a game, let's say that, because, again, much fewer penalties and fewer turnovers. This was not a bad game, but a very tough game for both sides, and Case able to sneak away with a win here. I mean, for Diman, you got to look at it from a positive, and it's kind of what I said about Durfee last week, is that the Hilltoppers held Somerset scoreless through over 4.5 quarters. And for Diman here to hold a Case Cardinals team that put up 40-plus points a week ago, 20 in their first quarter, to hold them to just 7 points, it's got to feel good defensively, but when you come out of it, the short end of the stick, the short side of a 7-0 loss, it doesn't feel that great. And the reality is that Diman is 0-2 now, and this is a game that certainly could have been winnable. The offense just could not get anything going against the Case defense. So, lots to work on for the Bengals before their next game. The good news is that Diman will have 2 weeks to perfect and work out the kinks here after losing tonight in week 2. They'll be back in week 4 after a bye in week 3. We will be back with football again from Durfee in 2 weeks in week 4 when the Dartmouth Indians come to town. Meanwhile, continue to tune into Fred TV for more high school sports, great student work, and some local news as well. We'll be getting our weekly magazine-style news show, The Thread, a bi-weekly show, basically. The Thread getting back on the air soon, working out the bugs with the student crew and getting everybody back into the swing of things, so be on the lookout for that, as well as some more great content from across the city on both Fred TV and our sister station, FRG TV. For now, Evan Massoud saying so long from Diman Regional.